everybody, it's me, Timmy Flowers Guy, and welcome to this week's edition of Back in the Day. Today we're going to take you back to 1995 and the emergence of the NHL on Fox. The Fox Network was well known for its NFL on Fox and its baseball coverage as well, and many other sports. The Fox Network wanted to go low and slow to try something. So in 1995, the NHL on Fox was born. And Fox wanted to try something a little different. So each Sunday, every Sunday, the NHL would have NHL on Fox. I remember watching the NHL on Fox and how much the intros were so entertaining and so captivating. I loved watching the NHL on Fox. So in this video, I'm going to take you back to 1995 and the emergence of the NHL on Fox. I hope everyone enjoys this walk down memory lane here on Back in the Day. I'm your host, Timmy Flowers, and now our feature presentation, the NHL on Fox. But that's not the Hinata I saw today.
This is a Fox Sports presentation.
Fox is doing fine. It's cup time.
The Stanley Cup playoffs on Fox. Dallas isn't doing fine. Got to go to Motown without Top Gun Mike Modano. But they're hoping Kevin Hatcher and Andy Moe can seize that Motor City engine named Fedorov. But Sergei's got something to prove, because his Red Wings aren't ready to crash. And Mike Vernon's here to plug the leaks. Last season, they were a goal from heaven. Then those Rangers sent the Devils to you-know-where. Now, Boston's big three, Cam Neely, Oates, and Bork, look to send them back. But the Bruins better hope they answer those questions between the pipes, or lights out at the Garden just a little bit early.
Fox is doing fine. It's cup time.
Buffalo and Philadelphia, speed versus strength. The Sabres hope that their speed kills, as the Roadrunner Pat LaFontaine and winger Alexander Mogilny say you can't hit what you can't catch. But Philadelphia's Legion of Doom is without its big hurt Eric Lindros. But fellow Legionnaires John LeClaire and Michael Renberg still have the firepower to give Mr. Hassett his own asshole. Vancouver's Russian rocket Pavel Bure was grounded since last year's final. But don't count out the comeback Canucks. Last year, it was the new blue man, Mike Keenan, who shut down the Rocket. And this year, he's got Bubba Brett Hull. He's kind of good. All right, let's get down to business. Hide the women and kids. It's cup time. Right here, right now. The NHL on Fox.
Fox is doing fine. It's cup time.
It is cup time. Last night at the Igloo in Pittsburgh, Washington on the attack, and the Capitals are helped by this tip-in by Dale Hunter. Caps take a 4-3 lead, go on to win it 5-4 against the favored Penguins. Then at Le Colisée in Quebec, the Rangers had already blown a 2-goal lead. Take a look at Joe Sakic firing this one past Mike Richter. Rangers lose it 5-4. And the defending Stanley Cup champions are down 1 game in their best-of-7 series against the Nordiques. And welcome to Hollywood, California, everyone, and the Stanley Cup playoffs. I'm James Brown, and alongside, of course, with Dave Maloney. My goodness, the Rangers blow a 3-goal lead. Mike Richter was in goal. The question is now, do you start him in game 2, or do you put Glenn Healy in goal?
Well, JB, I think you put Glenn Healy in goal. What Colin Campbell did, he did the right thing, starting a guy that took him there last year, but he didn't get it done last night. It's too late in the season to be worrying about who should be, who shouldn't be. Healy, tomorrow night, Lake Colisée, should be the guy in the net for the Blue Shirts.
All right, bottom line thinking time now indeed. All right, folks, but let's get you caught up on the matchups of the day. Now, you'll see one of 4 games this afternoon right here on Fox, and perhaps the biggest pre-playoff story is in Philadelphia. Why, you may ask? You remember last week, Eric Lindros, his slapper ricocheting, hitting him below his left eye. A blood clot is formed, and he will be out at least the next 2 games. Eric Lindros lost to the Philadelphia Flyers thus far. Well, folks, let's head out to Philadelphia, where Fox's Dennis Potvin is standing by to give us the latest, not only on Lindros, but the Flyers.
Here in Philadelphia, the Flyers are about to take on their first playoff opponent in 5 years. That without the services of Eric Lindros. Now, it's been done before. Personal experience, the Islanders in 1983 finals against the mighty Edmonton Oilers had to take them on the first game without the services of Mike Bossy. Team has to overcome that feeling of who's going to score for us. And then you have to channel that fear of losing, channel it and make it a motivator for you. We believe that the Flyers will give it their best shot today. And now, off to Boston and my colleague, John Davidson.
All right, Dennis, thanks. Here in Boston, the Bruins have been red hot, winning 8 of their last 10 games to finish the regular season. Their specialty teams are awesome. They rely on them a lot. Their penalty killing is ranked #1 in the league. And on their power play, they've got, of course, Cam Neely, who led the league with power play goals. And you can see the distinct difference. The Devils 23rd on the power play, 16th on the penalty kill. Not nearly as good. The Devils rely a lot on size and balance, and they love to crash. They love to bang, and they do have a big line. They call the crash line, and you can see the size, 6'2", 215. They're on the ice after goals. They're on the ice after penalty kills or power plays. And here in the Boston Garden with a smaller ice surface, they love to bang. Bobby Carpenter, the best checking center for New Jersey, will not be in. That should open up the ice for the artist, Adam Oates. For more, let's go to St. Louis and my good friend Mickey Redmond.
Thank you, John. The St. Louis Blues may have finished 13 points better than the Vancouver Canucks this year, but these teams have a very similar makeup. Start with the game breakers. Brett Hull for the Blues, Pavel Bure for Vancouver. Power forwards, Brendan Shanahan and Trevor Linden for Vancouver. Both teams are big and can play it physical if you want it that way, and they both have top goaltenders in Curtis Joseph for St. Louis and Kirk McLean for the Vancouver Canucks. I think if you had to summarize this series before it started, it's going to be rough and tumble. We may have one of the best matchups in the Stanley Cup playoffs in the first round. Right now, let's go to Detroit and Joe Micheletti.
Okay, Mickey. Thanks, Mickey. Certainly you being from Detroit know what the expectations are here in Detroit to win a Stanley Cup. They haven't won the Cup since 1955, and around here they're calling it the 40-year itch. This Detroit team has been tremendous all season long. They led the league in points. They can score goals. They certainly can prevent goals. And they're led by the winningest coach in the history of the National Hockey League, Scotty Bowman. We just received some late word, though. One of their top players, Dino Ciccarelli, will be out of this game. He's a late scratch, out with a knee injury. And JB, this Dallas team that just squeaked into the playoffs, they're going to have a very difficult time against Detroit.
All right, Joe, thank you very much. And our own Dave Maloney is still sticking with the Red Wings to take it all. Folks, we'll be back here in Hollywood before sending you out to your game as Fox NHL Sunday continues the Stanley Cup playoffs right here.
Salt Lake City, Utah, love Fox!
Hey, you, looking for me? Today, hockey gets back on track. Fox Tracks. The NHL on Fox rolls on. Blue morning, blue day. You'd better do things Mad Dog Mike's way, even if you're, kind of great. Can they slow down the Russian Fab Five who like to burn that hockey camp with both ends, racing to a record 60 wins? But, assume nothing, mate. B-Town Billy has his Bruins engaged in some winning ways, but Boston's still stuck on that playoff bubble, hoping not to get knocked off for the first time in 29 years. Today, they look to send bummed-out Buffalo over in a barrel. Dallas's Mike Modano feels like a lone star, because his team's full of fallen stars. Today, they ride into Chi-Town to battle the Hawks, whose aim is true. Defenseman Chris Chelios and Gary Suter will lead the ambush, partner. New York, start spreading the... No, forget it. This scrapple's not in the apple. It's out on the island, man. Ranger Richter, he's healed. And Main Man Mess will try to get his Rangers off that seesaw against those hated Islanders. Better call the cops. And then there's the other guy with the hair.
Jaromir Jagr.
But the Pens are in Flyer Town, and when you're in Eric's house, it ain't pretty. All right, bucko, buckle up, because it's the one and only NHL on Fox.
And welcome back to Hollywood and the NHL on Fox. We've got 5 games for you this afternoon, and with just 3 Sundays left until the end of the regular season, each game is critical as teams fight for playoff berths and positioning. And hello, everyone. I'm James Brown. Good to have you back alongside with us, and my partner, Dave Maloney. 6 weeks off. Good to see you again.
Nice to see you, JB. And in 6 weeks, we've had a couple of chaps change addresses. The great ones in St. Louis, McSorley and Curry in New York. What hasn't changed? Detroit hasn't changed. They keep rolling along. Stanley Cup favorites, Detroit Red Wings.
Okay, and of course, we'll set the playoff picture for folks in just a bit. But first, let's head out to Detroit. Now, those of you getting that game will see the return of the Fox Tracks and a look at the red-hot Red Wings. And calling that game will be our own Mike Emmerich. And good afternoon, Mike.
Good afternoon, JB. The regular season 2 weeks to go, and they play it to entertain hockey fans, and boy, have they been entertained here. 20,000 fans will be here today. What a season they've had. They've come here 38 times and only seen 3 losses by their team. By next weekend, this is probably going to be the best record in history. Over 20,000 will see the rest of the Blues games in St. Louis because of this guy, Wayne Gretzky. All the rest of the year sold out to watch the generation's finest player. Couple of fine players we don't get to see today, Brett Hull or Shane Corson, because of injuries. But we do get to see some history. Goaltender Grant Fuhr breaks his own record with his 76th straight start. You mentioned the Fox Tracks pucks. Grant will be catching a few of those. Fox Tracks is back, improved look, the enhanced puck, the Comet Trail, and shot speed. And I predict 96 miles an hour will be the fastest, and Al McInnes of the Blues will have it, JB.
All right, Mike, thank you very much. Now, those of you not getting that game will see either the Penguins and Flyers. That's a game which could decide the top seed in the East. Also, the Battle of New York between the Rangers and Islanders, Dallas at Chicago, or the Bruins against the Sabres. Boston, Buffalo, a huge game for the Bruins. That game kind of underscores how tight the races are in the East and the West for the last spots. Let's start in the East.
Well, in the East, there are 4 teams vying for only 3 playoff spots, JB. And the Fox face-off, what's important in my idea is goaltending. We're going to take a look at 4 of them. Only the lowly Ottawa Senators have scored fewer goals than Martin Brodieur's New Jersey Devil. This guy has been terrific. This year's MVP for the Devils. Billy Ranford, they got him in January from Edmonton. He's been terrific, struggling at .500. The Bruins have been better with Ranford in the lineup. Jim Carey leads the league with 9 shutouts. He's had a spectacular second half. He plays for a team that also struggles to score. Darren Scoopa Poopa backstopping the Tampa Bay Lightning. the oldest of the foursome at 31 years old. Tampa relies on special teams. Their power play's 4th best in the league.
So in the East, both Boston and Tampa Bay have the game in hand on Washington and New Jersey. Boston is 8th because they have won more than Tampa Bay. In the West, a dynamic duo is giving the Mighty Ducks a shot.
Well, they are giving the Mighty Ducks a shot. These two guys are crucial to what the Ducks will or won't do. In February, they traded for Teemu Selanne. Selanne gives them a playmaking and scoring ability to go with Paul Correa, who is a spectacular young player. The problem is they're winless in their last 3. Why? Selanne and Correa have not scored. Speaking of goal scoring, this guy, Pavel Bure, will begin skating with the Canucks, Vancouver that is, this week. If he gets himself back in the lineup with Mogilny, the Vancouver Canucks will be a factor in the West come playoff time.
And in the West, Anaheim and Edmonton are on the outside looking in, but the Ducks have a decent shot at the playoffs. That's because they played the fewest number of games of the teams that are on the bubble. Now, David, as we saw, Detroit on top in the West last season, strong in the regular season, wiped out in the Stanley Cup Finals. Strong this year. Will it be the same fate?
Well, I don't know, but at the risk of reputation, JB, they have been terrific this regular season. There are 3 guys that are playing better. Chris Osgood's a better goaltender. Lidstrom and Konstantinov on the blue line are better players. Larionov, they bring him in from San Jose to kind of bring the Russians together. The problem is, if they had not got swept and swept convincingly, I think people would mail the cup to the Motor City. Can they stand up to the East in the grinding? Time will tell. I think this is their year.
All right, you think they're tougher. We'll find out if that's the case. And folks, we're going to take you out to your game right after this.
You're watching the NHL on